I didn't even know that social entrepreneurs existed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was born and raised in Switzerland, and I was working for a very large, my first job was a very large, I was like doing mergers and acquisition for a very large commodity trading company that owns smelters, refineries around the globe. And I was doing that, and I was making a lot of money, but then I was in Peru in one of these mines that the organization owned. And then I saw under what conditions miners were living. And then I had this epiphany, and I realized with my work, I'm making the rich richer and the poor poorer. And when that happened, I realized that I cannot continue. I quit my job, and I said, I need to do something else. I didn't know what to do. I landed in Mexico, not knowing where to sleep, and I was just traveling around the country. And when I traveled through the country, I saw all these farmers, these smallholder farmers, that were living in poverty or near poverty, selling avocados for like 10 cents a piece to like middlemen at local markets. And when I walk here into Whole Foods, I pay $2.50. And then I said, what's wrong here? How can that be? That's not right. I look at this like, this is all I've been given my life. But you know, on the other side is the more you've been given, the more responsibility you have. For me, what motivates me is to create opportunities for those that don't have questions. So what is it that attracted me to the Eastside Institute? The way I look at whatever I look at, challenges, opportunities, comes from the mindset of this is the business mindset or the social entrepreneur mindset. Now what I got at the Eastside Institute, there is a whole different, you can approach that from a very different side also. You can look at the same, you know, you can look at this from here, but you can also look at it from here. But I didn't know that this here existed. And what is that? That is that, you know, the element of the development through play, through improvisation, through communication. We need to create a new model. And I think what the Eastside Institute has developed are tools that approach these challenges from a different, more human side. When I started my organization, I was going like a modern missionary from door to door, knocking on doors, talking about fair trade. And then when they looked at me, they said, you know, this is wonderful what you're saying, and this sounds great, but you're a gringo. You're a gringo, and tomorrow you're gone, and people have been here before you, so we don't believe you. There's a lot of prejudice. And farmers have been cheated. So and this is when I learned there are certain things, even if I have the best intentions, there are certain things I cannot do just because of my face. Because I'm not from Peru, I'm not from Chile, I'm not from Argentina, I'm not from Mexico, you know. And so how did I overcome that? I saw that I need to develop a system that is locals for locals, Mexicans for Mexico, Peruvians for Peru, Argentinians for Argentina. So what did I do? I had to look at leaders who are in the country today, tomorrow, next year, who can build a level of trust. But I am grateful for the learning that I had because I was exposed to them. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. So just being in this collaboration with them, it has opened my eyes to so many elements I didn't even know that they existed. I was in a bubble. When I grew up and had my first job, I was in a bubble. You know, where I was just like shoveling dollar amounts from left to right and right to left in a bubble, detached from the real world. And they opened my eyes. What is the real reality? And so I'm very grateful. So it has been a co-learning, a co-development, teaching here at Fordham University, social innovation. So the other day, I got an email from one of my former students, and she said, my parents, they sent me to Fordham, you know, to go to business school because they wanted me to go to Wall Street. After your class, It was for me clear I will never go to Wall Street. What she then did, she started to develop her own social enterprise, and she graduated like 2-3 years ago. And she said, and this is what I built. So she basically showed me what she has built, an organization. And it made me so happy, because when I speak about that, whatever we do, we don't really know how many people, how it changes, their lives, what they do with it. It may be whatever I said that inspired somebody in such a way that it totally transforms the entire life.